Welcome to today's video. One of you requested that I do a library book haul. I happened to go to the library today with my friend, and I've also been thrifting a lot of books. I mostly look for Spanish books for my son, baby books in Spanish or short stories in Spanish, some English books, and lately I've been getting him some German books because my husband is learning more German and he wants to teach him a little bit of German too. We are raising our son to primarily speak English and Spanish. I mostly speak to him in Spanish. It's really important to me that he learns Spanish, so I try to keep most of his books in Spanish because I know he's not going to have an issue learning English living in the United States. So keep that in mind with my book haul. If you are raising a bilingual baby, I would definitely recommend going to your local library. There's a lot of resources there, but I just wouldn't have expected that, I guess, and they do have a lot of options there. They also have a German and French section. So I would definitely check out your public library and also your thrift stores. I've been finding so many Spanish books for him at the thrift store. That is so helpful because buying new books, it can add up quickly because every book is like $5, $8. And then when you're looking for the Spanish version of the books, they're sometimes even more pricey. So I definitely try to thrift as many as I can. My friend that I actually went to the library with today, she is so sweet. She is always going to the thrift store and she always gets my son books when she sees them in Spanish. So I actually have a little haul from her. She got him this little stack of books. So let's get into the haul. I have a mix of books I have bought at the thrift store and a used bookstore. The books that my friend got the baby. And then I also went to the library today, so I'll show you the library book haul at the end. I'm going to start with this book haul I got. This book haul I got at the used bookstore. I got so many books at my local used bookstore. I would definitely check those out if you have one near you. Peace is an offering, La Paz es una ofrenda. So this is an English-Spanish book. I always try to look for only Spanish books, but I've kind of had to surrender to the fact that most of them are going to come in Spanish and English, which is fine because then I try to only read the Spanish part, and if my husband reads it to him, he'll read the English and the Spanish part usually to him. But I thought this book was very cute. Gracias, Señor Falker. I think this is I'm pretty sure I remember reading this book in English when I was younger, and this is also a short story book. I thought I could read to him while he's playing because he is a little young to be interested in this one, to sit through the whole thing. This one's in English, Fish Don't Play Ball. I just really liked the animations in this. Super cute. On the Move, Vamos de Viaje. And it just has, it's just like a board book, has, you know, the picture and the English and Spanish word. And these are really nice too because they are short, but if they're really interested into the book, you can of course read what it says, describe the background color, describe what this is, the colors in it, how they could use it, really get into describing more of what's going on in the picture, and they learn a lot more that way too. Fiesta, and this is a paper one in a few words. This was so funny because I was telling my husband about this book. There's this online bookstore, I think it's called Thrift Books, and you can get used books for less there. And I was thinking about getting the first 1,000 words in Spanish, and then I saw the also in German one, and I was like, ooh, if I don't find any good books at the thrift store, I was literally leaving to go to the used bookstore, or at the bookstore. I'm going to order them on that website. But I walked in, this was one of the first books I found, is the first 1,000 words in German. My husband isn't fully fluent in German, but he does know a lot. Like he could make his way around Germany if he was visiting. So this was more for him at first, but you know, he will show the baby. And they have this first 1,000 words in a lot of languages, so you can get it in English, Spanish, German, if you're raising a bilingual or trilingual baby. Llama Llama Red Pajama, it's in English, but it's a board book. It was basically brand new, but he already kind of tore a page. If my shape, mis formas. So again, it's a really basic book, but if they're really into it, you can describe that this is a square, the color, that, you know, the house is a square, the colors of the door, windows, and roof and everything like that. The next two I got at the used bookstore were, for me, it's about gardening and making food in a small space, like growing a lot of food in a small space, but it's actually in Spanish, and it's a very you know, lengthy, meaty book in Spanish, but I wanted to get something like this to really push myself to read more Spanish because I am fluent in Spanish. Spanish was my first language growing up. I went to school in the United States, so of course, like, I know English a lot better, especially like reading and writing and all of that. And my vocabulary is probably a lot bigger in English. I'm planning on homeschooling my son, and I was wondering about if I'm only speaking to him in Spanish, like doing one parent, one language. I have to speak to him in in Spanish the entire time. So I'm like, how can I homeschool in English? And then I was thinking, and I was considering doing homeschool in English and in Spanish, and doing Spanish up until like 6th or 8th grade. So I was like, if I'm gonna do that, I really need to myself be more proficient in Spanish. So before I decide if I'm gonna do Spanish homeschool on top of English homeschool, because I investigated and I can do, it won't confuse him too much if I do, like, if only homeschool is only in English and the rest of the time we're talking in Spanish. So anyway, I decided I'm gonna really challenge myself and push myself to read like more meaty text in Spanish and see if I really want to take that challenge on of also doing homeschool in Spanish. I think it would be I think that would be really good for him, and honestly for me. So I have a few years before I decide like what curriculum I'm gonna do and everything for homeschool. So for now, I thought I would brush up on my Spanish, especially reading. Even just reading his Spanish books honestly has helped me so much. So I'm gonna read like a page or two out of this every day, and it's nice that it's something I'm actually pretty interested in. And then to go with that, if I find a few words here and there that I don't know, I found this Spanish to English dictionary, so it'll tell me the word in Spanish and then give me like the definition in English and everything. So I thought this was really nice too. So also, like, when it's reading time, when he's older and he's reading on his own, he's reading a book right now on his own. He's 1, so he can't read just yet, but when we're doing like quiet time and stuff like that and I don't want to be on my phone, I can be looking through the book, and when I don't know a word, I can look for it in the dictionary instead of just looking it up on my phone. I did look it up on my phone yesterday though. Okay, so that was all from the used bookstore. These next 3 I got at Goodwill. So I got him this one, Sleep Tight, Sleepy Bear. I just thought it was so cute. The animation inside. And I got him this one, Undersea Life. This is more like lengthy and wordy, so maybe when he's a little older. My husband's really into the ocean and sea life, so I thought this would be fun for them to read together. Also got him this one, which this book is what actually, it's 12 classic stories, but in Spanish. This is what inspired me to get better at reading in Spanish, because this, I could read it, but it's in cursive. And the cursive itself is already kind of confusing. It's not like that clear of a cursive. I know how to read, and I was taught how to write in cursive in school. I don't know if it's the way the cursive is, or if I was more familiar with it, maybe I'd be able to make it out faster, but I was really struggling to read this to him. So I was like, I need to get better at my Spanish, and maybe it'll be easier, or otherwise I'm just going to say that this was poorly written out. And this I could read to him while he's playing, or when he's older we could read through it together. These are the books that my friend just gave me. She's gotten him so many other books, but for the sake of this haul, this is what she just gave me today. So My Heart Fills with Happiness, paperback book. And it kind of just has the one word on each page. Another paperback, The Night Before Kindergarten, that's in English and Spanish. Hear a pickle and smell, see it, touch and taste it too. English and Spanish. Mi Gran Libro de Camiones. I'm sure he'll love this when he's like a little older and like super into trucks. Pastel para Enemigos. Frog and his friends save humanity. This is more like a lengthy, meaty book too. Now for the library books. If You're Happy and You Know It. It's a little board book. I thought this was so cute. This one is in German. I thought my husband would love this. He doesn't know I got him this yet. So I have no idea what this is saying. Lejos, far. It's a little story. This is just all around me, around the house. We can go through and see different items. ABCs, Spanish and English. Seems to have just like different animals for each letter. 10 little fingers and 10 little toes. I'm excited for this one because I feel like he's going to be able to like distinguish that, which, you know, if I ask him where are your hands, your feet, he's going to be able to tell me soon. So I thought this would be a good intro to that. Camioncito Azul. I was really excited for this because we actually have the Christmas story of this little blue truck. And I like that it's a board book. And then just like another picture book, vehicles, to show him the different forms of transportation. The library, I got this short story in the kids section for me to read. And it's in Spanish, so I got it to also practice reading in Spanish. And this one, I thought I could read out loud to him while he's playing and whatnot, so that I can practice, you know, reading it, speaking out loud and everything. And this is so perfect. I was thinking like how grateful I am to have my son, because I've always wanted to read more, read out loud more, to be more, you guys, I edit myself talking for hours, and you guys don't hear how many you knows, likes that I cut out of the video, and so many still make it into the video. So I'm really trying to learn how to speak more fluently, I guess. And even if I practice in Spanish, I think it will translate to English in my videos. I'm just like, I love him so much. Like I've always wanted to do this and I never do. You know, I put it off, but now I have my baby and he loves reading and I love reading to him. So it's like, now I'm doing it. It's just like, oh, it's just so fun. But anyway, I got this book to read out loud for myself and for him. I also got this one, Once Upon a Time, Traditional Latin American Tales. It's in English and Spanish, and it's a little longer. It's like longer and meatier for me to practice reading out loud in Spanish. I got my husband requested another Joseph Conrad novel. He's into Joseph Conrad right now, so I got him one last time I was at the library. Got him this one this time around. I saw this free book cart at the library, and I saw this title from the corner of my eye, The Life-Giving Parent, and I was like, is this like I thought it might have been a fiction book. Wait, no, a non-fiction book? Wait. Oh my gosh, wait. The novel is fiction, right? Yes, the novel's fiction that I got my husband. I don't like fiction. I'm a non-fiction lady. I thought this was a fiction book, but upon further inspection, it's actually a non-fiction book. I don't know why that confuses me so much. It's Discover How You Can Become a Parent Who Gives Your Child a Life Worth Living for Christ. I just like couldn't believe this book was free. I asked the lady, I'm like, this is free, like I can just take it? And she's like, yep, any book that's on the cart. Couldn't believe that it was free. So I feel like it was meant for me to bring home. So I'll read this. Maybe I'll leave it out. Maybe my husband will read it. And that is my book haul, you guys. One of you requested that I do a library book haul, and of course I had more books this time around to show you guys, but I was really excited about my book haul. I got the used bookstore, so I just thought it was a perfect time to show you guys this big book haul I got. Let me know if this is kind of what you were thinking. I've never really watched a book haul myself, so I'm so into getting books right now, getting used books, going to the library. That's just the phase of life I'm in. Also, one of you requested that we could do like a weekly book club, and I am considering something like that. However, like I was saying, I don't really like fiction books, so if it was a nonfiction, like kind of like a self-help or something that's like practical that we can apply to our lives and learn together book, I would definitely do that. There's a few books. There's a book I've had in my Audible. I haven't listened to it yet, on like homemaking and running like a household. It's a Christian homemaking book, and I feel like that would be really fun, that we could like go through it together and learn through it together. I'd get the hard copy, so that could be really fun for me. If you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments so I can work on that for you guys. I will try to link as many of these books as I can in the description for you guys. If one of them caught your eye and you're wanting to get it for you or your children, please let me know. If you guys want more videos like this, you can give this video a thumbs up if this is a video you like, so I know that you like it.